Hi and welcome back to the channel. Today I am having a look at Westwood Instruments Lost Synth. It is vintage synths reimagined, and Lost Synth is a VST for Contact, and it is their latest release. So if you don't know much about Westwood Instruments, I will give you a little more info. So Westwood was founded by Rob Hill in 2019, so they are pretty new, and it's now made up of a small team of talented individuals. From choosing a mic to crafting individual samples, we are dedicated in every chapter of the story to create the best sample libraries we can. It is basically a vast collection of curated sounds created from a revered collection of rare analog synthesizers, from classics like the Juno 60 and Poly 6 to more unusual models like the Logan String Melody 2 and the Art Odyssey, all resampled through guitar pedals and tape. So combine and manipulate layers to make your own unique sounds, and use the Memories engine to create a sophisticated rhythmical underscore. So the Memories engine takes it to the kind of next level, basically, when it comes to this style of VST. So Lost Synth is a journey of exploration where everything sounds enticingly unfamiliar and not quite like you remember. And it is an absolute lovely interface, I have to say. It is quite similar to Play Series. If you have used any Play Series, you will kind of get the idea. So you've got an A and a B sample, and you can blend them together, or blend in between A and B, and you have a set of controls for each one which are identical, and then there's motion, mood, there's also process, memories, and places. So our first true out-of-house collaboration, Meet Peel and Tom Orrell from the Nave recording studio, took over the artistic reins for this project. So from one simple brief, they spent countless hours teasing sounds from synths made in the 70s and 80s, including things like the Odyssey, Poly 6, Mini Moog, the MS-20, etc. So enhancing them even further by feeding them into tape delays, a stack of boutique guitar pedals, and reel-to-reel. So what they've crafted is a collection of one-of-a-kind sublime sounds that feel strangely familiar and nothing like you've played before. Kind of 5 categories. So there's dusk, glow, warp, dirt, and shit, which is actually short, as it took me a wee while to figure out what shrt was. So they couldn't find a 4-letter word for short, and I could have suggested clip, and so those are the 5 categories where the samples are based. So this is the Memories engine, and as you can see, it is mental. So the Memories engine creates an arpeggiated underscore, load any of the 80 sounds and transforms them into distant haze or more upfront accompaniments. So this is more interesting than a delay, more sophisticated than an ARP. So that's a kind of brief overview of Lost Synth. So let's get it open in Contact, and I'll let you hear what it sounds like. Right, so here we are in complete control, and I've loaded Lost Synth, and as you can see, it is a Contact NKS instrument. Normally this would come up in default view. So the first thing I would suggest you do is go into edit view, because it is quite useful. Not only getting the keyboard, but you will get this other way of accessing presets. So normally you can kind of filter through synth lead, misc, and pad, but this unfortunately doesn't work, because when I filter on these, it's 204 result, and it doesn't matter which one I click on, it is still 204. You can filter through these, so these work. So there's another way of accessing these, and if you click in here, they've split it up into synths, blends, motions, memories, and fourths and fifths. So this is quite a good way if you specifically want to go to something that has a memory engine switched on. You can go, and they've split them into the one of the categories. So there's 4 categories. There's no short category in the memories. So you've got synths, so these are kind of basically your kind of individual presets, and then you've got blends, so these are going to be blended A and B samples, and then you've got motion, so that motion will be switched on, memories, and then fourths and fifths. So like I said, it uses the kind of A and B sample Play Series kind of method. So if you want to change the sample, you just click on that, and we are in the dirt section. So there's 16 samples in each category. So you've got 16 dusk, glow, warp, dirt, and short. And then you can actually preview these, which is quite good if you've got preview switched on. So you can preview string memories, concrete bowl, dusty fifths, whatever, and then if you want it, you can load that one from there. So that's quite handy. So I'm using my S49 Mark II, which has now been superseded by the Mark III. It is still a fantastic MIDI controller for anything to do with Native Instruments and using any of the NKS files. This has been pre-mapped, so there's 3 pages that have been pre-mapped to operate some of the controls. The only thing is that the mod wheel is not automatically assigned to the blend. So that is the first thing to do. Just left click, learn MIDI CC, and adjust your mod wheel, and that is you on the blend. Because if you don't have one of these keyboards, then the first knob is the blend knob, but I always find it easier to use the mod wheel so you can blend between. So that is Stun Silence, and that is Antonio Bay, and that is them. You can see, so we've got level, pan, tune, tune, pitch, attack and release, and it is the same for A and B. And then you can click on either the name or the magnifying glass to go in, and you will go to that category. So this is Sun Silence is a dirt, and then you could pick one of the other 16 samples for that, and obviously that's the same for the A and the B. So Antonio Bay is a glow. And then you've got 16 of each. Right, so you've got motion, and you can have sine, saw, square, random, and you've got depth, speed controls there, and you have got moods. So there's temper, muse, awe, void, blur, and yearn, and you can see that for this particular preset, there isn't any of those switched on. So that's your sounds page. You've got your process page. So you've got wow, filter, chorus, sample, overdrive, and compressor. And we'll have a look at that kind of in a bit more detail later on. And then you've got the memories page, which you can switch off and on there. There's 12 patterns and 12 presets, and you can just select these and they will adjust the controls, or you can actually go in and select a particular preset there as well. It defaults to string memory and the string memories preset when you go to that memories page. As you can see, there's a lot of controls, but the main ones that make a difference are the mist, echo, haze, and the blend. So you've also got scatter, density, rate, upper and lower octaves, decay, attack, variation, and damp. And like I said, this one here where you can switch between echo and mist and adjust the haze does make probably the most difference. You've got time, depth, and feedback, and you can either be free or sync, and free or sync up there. And then last but not least is places. So this is where you're kind of add in your kind of reverb, delay, noise, and ambience. And as you can see, there's some pretty cool names for the reverb. We've got Nakatomi Plaza and Tech Noir, and then you've got analog, vintage, tape, modern, and haze delays. And then noise, you've got tape, vinyl, preamp, machine, static, and real. And ambience, you've got room, hall, city, rain, ocean, and forest. And they are very nice. The main one that you work in is generally the sounds page, where you can play around with all these motions and moods and adjust these controls, and then muck around with changing out the presets. So the wow, if you're wondering what the wow is, it is a kind of flutter effect. So it kind of recommends, if you want to use this, is to switch it on, set it to free, and dial up the depth and speed and leave it on sine wave, and it'll add in a bit of tape wow flutter as well. And then you've got ADSR for A and ADSR for B. So you've got control. So you can either switch it from, so that you could have the effects either on A or AB, and obviously then you don't need to adjust both. So for instance, if we go to B and switch that on AB, then we don't need to switch it on. It automatically switches on for A. So anyway, so there's loads, like I said, there's loads of controls. You've also got a sub as well, and you can adjust the octaves and the saturation there as well. So absolutely loads of controls. And like I said, the memories thing is absolutely superb. For creating soundscapes, this is just the absolute dog's bollocks. I mean, it's right up my street, to be perfectly honest. And it's a bit of a sound designer's dream, and especially if you create, as I do, kind of soundscapes, ambient electronica, and that type of music. It is just fantastic. bloody tastic. So shout out to Westwood for creating this interface, because like I said, it's unusual kind of way of using the kind of A and B sample kind of blending. So anyway, so that is it kind of for the kind of overview of how the hell the thing works. What does it sound like? We'll play Church for the Undead. And as you can see, I can blend between Golden Hour and UHF using the mod wheel. And you can see there's no motion mood on. There's a bit of chorus, bit of filter. There's no memory on, and there's a bit just reverb. So it's quite a simple patch. And I found that playing actually a lot of the presets haven't actually kind of used all of the kind of memories and places, and a lot of them are quite kind of simple, and a lot of them are just one sample. Like for instance, Closed Box is just Afterlife. So if I adjust the mod wheel to Sunset Sweeper, there's nothing happening. Well, apart from a tiny bit of Afterlife. So there is something happening in Memories, I think. Yeah, so Memories has got the Midnight Hum on. So like I said, a lot of the presets are very, very simple. And if you go up to here, we can go to the ones that are definitely blends. So we've got Dark Days, and it is Tea Biscuits and Light Pollution. But again, there's no motion, there's no mood, and there's no memories. Because the first thing I do when I get a new synth is just start and creating presets, and that is the best way to learn how to use it. So I've already done like 20 presets, and 90% of them have got the memories on, and the mood, and the motion, and there's absolutely tons of shit going on. Go to some of my favourites, and let's see, Fast Synth Gone. Let's have a look. So yeah, again, so this is just UHF. Yeah, there's not much on that one either. Feature length is Future F. And again, there's no memories, there's no mood and emotion. Fifth Star from Home. So what I need to do is I need to go to the motions, and we'll go to motions and find some that have got motion switched on. So that is Distorted Reality. Right, so this is Haddonfield. So this must have memory switched on. Yeah, so it's got one tape head. Lost but Hopeful. Got some motion on. So we can blend between Cold Wind Blows and Seesaw. Ruby Road, this is quite nice. So just a nice Roads. As you can see, it's just a single layer. And what's happening? There's absolutely nothing happening. That's it. We've got reverb, and that's it. Memories one. Let's try Glow. Fire Up the Flight. Yeah, so what have we got? We've got memory. So like I said, you can switch between mist and echo, and that does make a difference. If you can, and like I said, you can kind of blend this as well, the memories between the kind of effects and the keys. Right, so to finish off, I'll play a bit of one of my presets, and this is called Reflections, and it gives you an idea of what you can do switching more of this stuff on. So I've got mood on Muse, and I've got the motion on Sine, filter and places. I've got reverb, ambience, and delay. So there's no actual memories on this one, but it is very nice. So there's quite a bit. But I've already got motion and mood, so you don't necessarily need. Sometimes it can be a bit much having all three on. So let's play a bit of this. So I can blend between Antonio Bay and Hollow Defeat. And like I said, you really need to have headphones on for this because there's a whole lot of stuff going on that is quite subtle. So like I said, for soundscape design, it is very, very cool. Yeah, so in the next one, I will kind of maybe put together a Logic track using some of the presets and give you a better idea of how these work together. And hopefully I will have finished my preset pack, demo some of those. Anyway, so thanks for watching. And as usual, if you are enjoying the videos, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. And I'll see you in the next one.